Welcome back. It is Tuesday, May 2nd in the NBA. My three favorite picks are on the way. Let's recap yesterday. A solid 2-1 winning day. We will take it. Marcus Smart's over. A no sweat bet. I mean, the guy didn't even shoot in the first half. I don't even know how to predict that, but he ends up with 12 on the dot. We will take it. Devin Booker's over in points was a no sweat bet. Actually, easily hit that in the third quarter. And their Suns and Nuggets same game parlay. I switched up to 7 legs trying to get plus 210 value. We hit 6 of the 7. Jamal Murray just never got it going. I'll go back to a minus 110 builder today, but it's not going to deter me from doing longer bankroll builders. That just probably should have avoided Murray. Knew they would make some switches defensively, but he absolutely did not have anything going for him yesterday. But either way, let's dive into our favorite plays today. This video, we will talk about Underdog Fantasy a little bit later on today in this video, but it is sponsored by Underdog. We love them. If you sign up for Underdog, be sure you use code COS or the top link in the description so you get a 100% deposit match. I'll talk about my Underdog entry. They have some of the better payouts out of all these daily fantasy apps available in a lot of different states. So check it out if you want. You get some free money if you sign up using our code. We certainly would appreciate it. Let's dive into the first slate of games, and we'll start with the first one, which is honestly one of the harder games to predict here. It's the Heat versus the Knicks. I'm going to Gabe Vincent over 13.5 points, minus 117 on Caesars. You can take this up to minus 125. If it does go to 14.5, I saw that at plus 115. I'd take that for half a unit because we know these lines are sharp. I mean, Marcus Smart, it's 11.5, he ends with 12. This is the nature of betting the NBA. The lines are very, very sharp this late into the season. But let's talk about this game, though, in general, because you got Jimmy Butler with an injury. I don't know if he plays. Julius Randle, don't know if he plays. Gun to my head, I say Jimmy Butler plays. Randle probably doesn't. But look, if Jimmy Butler doesn't want to play, that would help out Gabe Vincent. And even if he does play, we've seen Gabe Vincent in game one when Jimmy Butler was active. You saw him drop 20 points. So Gabe Vincent certainly capable of hitting the over if Butler's not out there or is out there. If Butler doesn't play, obviously the minutes and more field goal attempts are going to open up, and hopefully Vincent dominates. But let's talk about Vincent, though. Like I said, 20 points in game one, over this line in 4 of the last 6 playoff games. And he's seen a lot of field goal attempts, 13, 23, and 16 field goal attempts the last 3 games. And the Knicks are actually a decent matchup for him. The Knicks allowed the 4th most threes to opposing point guards. Look, last 2 games, we've seen Vincent firing it up. 12 threes in the last 2 games, attempting them. He did not make 12, but hey, he's a pretty good shooter. Shoots about 40% from the 3-point line. And look, they're going to need guys out there to shoot the basketball against a Knicks team that likes to pack the paint. Whether Butler's out there or not, they're going to see them packing the paint once again. And guys like Vincent, guys like Kyle Lowry probably get some more minutes here. And like Vincent, 33 minutes in game one. And I think you'll look at Eric Spoelstra. He'd rather go to those guys than relying on Duncan Robinson, who's very streaky and has never been really good on the road. Now, this season, we've seen Vincent attempt 10-plus field goal attempts in 30 games. He's had a hit-or-miss season. Obviously, Tyler Hero's out, who took a lot of field goal attempts. But when we saw Vincent getting the shots up, including the playoffs, he's had 14-plus points in the over in 20 of 30 games with 10 or more field goal attempts. Now, I can't predict field goal attempts. I can't predict that Vincent or a guy like Marcus Smart goes out there and doesn't shoot the ball. I'm not the guy out there shooting for him, but I think Vincent's going to have his open shots. If he gets 10-plus field goal attempts, I'll live with it. This is a guy with the lower line at 13.5. We're not asking him to set the world on fire, score 20 points like he did in game one, but 14 points, certainly reasonable. Obviously, it would help if Butler probably wasn't out there, but at the same time, the Knicks, if Butler plays, they're going to put a lot more defensive focus on stopping him. So each their own. It could go either way. I don't know if Jimmy Butler plays. I don't know if he does. This line might go down a tad just because they might not be adjusting him. It might be assuming he doesn't play right now. But either way, I think Gabe Vincent has a pretty good game. We'll take his over 13.5 points. Now, that's all I'm going to touch in that game. I don't really want to force 2 plays. I don't want to do a builder in that game. That's going to be a lower scoring game. So go Gabe Vincent. Now, as for the second game, Lakers and Warriors, this should be a great series. And I know, and I have a great pick, but I know a lot of people aren't going to like this pick. But I don't make picks that you guys are going to love. If I'm picking, if you just want me to take someone's over every single day in points, like the star player, I just can't do that. So today, you're going to hate this one. Stephen Curry, under the 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists, minus 106 on FanDuel. Yeah, I know there's probably people that won't tell me on this one, and that's fine. I'm going to put my money on Steph's under, and it's hard to fade greatness. Man, I don't expect everyone to fade with me, but let's talk about Stephen Curry. And let's talk about this 43.5 line, because Stephen Curry can have a great game. He can score 33 points and still go under this line. I mean, this line is 43.5. This is super high. You're talking about Nikola Jokic, a guy that fills the stat sheet. His line's normally like 47.5. And Curry's really approaching that. And sure, he's coming off a 50-point game in game 7. Bravo to him. Tip the cap. Like, I didn't take his under in game 7 because he was going to shoot a lot. But if you think Stephen Curry's going to shoot 38 times tonight, then by all means, go take his over. But I just don't see Stephen Curry shooting for 38 times. I mean, that's just not going to happen. That volume is not going to be that crazy. I mean, you look at in game 7, Klay Thompson, he sucked. Andrew Wiggins, who we'll talk about in a little bit, sucked. Jordan Poole, complete non-factor. Is it reasonable to suggest Klay Thompson maybe gets going tonight? Andrew Wiggins maybe gets going. Maybe Jordan Poole is more of a factor in this series given the matchups than he was in that series against Sacramento? No, it's reasonable to suggest some of these guys are going to step up, but we don't see Curry attempting, 30-plus shots like he did in Game 7. So, and he's probably not going to play 38, 40 minutes tonight. This just projects to be a long series. The Warriors probably don't want to just absolutely run the tanks up, just fuel. They don't want to play Curry 40 plus minutes every single night unless they absolutely have to. And look, I think that we're going to see the stuff for this Lakers defense, which has been great all since the All-Star break, since they made the trades, probably sell out and try to stop Stephen Curry. But let's talk about that series in Sacramento. When you saw if you just took Curry's over 43.5 PRAs, well, you lost a lot of the time. In fact, he had 38, 37, 45, 41, 41, 40, and 64 PRAs. So going under in 5 of 7 games, sure, he went over at 45 in one game and then 64 in that last game, but look, these lines are sharp. I think this line should be closer to 41.5. So I think we're getting two points of value just because of that big Stephen Curry masterclass in the Game 7, which, sure, you could say it was a masterclass, 50 points, but he took 38 field goal times. He's not shooting 38 times tonight unless it goes to a couple overtimes, or I just have a bad read here. But we've seen the Lakers defense, which probably tries to double Stephen Curry and just say, hey, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, beat us. Come downhill when Anthony Davis, one of the best rim protectors, averaging like 5 blocks in the playoffs, come downhill and beat us. I think that's what the Lakers are going to say. Fine, we'll let Draymond Green and Kevon Looney score 30-plus points every given night, and we'll take our chances with those guys scoring points. We saw in Game 1 of that Lakers-Memphis Grizzlies series, we saw them really sell out to stop Ja Morant in Game 1. He only had 26 PRAs, 14 field goal attempts, 6 turnovers. They made it tough on Ja Morant in that first game. Then obviously Ja Morant made some adjustments, so did the Lakers. You saw Ja Morant open up a little bit more, but when winning time game, they did the same exact thing trying to stop Ja Morant. Now, I'm not saying Stephen Curry and Ja Morant are the same player. I would say Stephen Curry's a little bit better, probably a lot bit better, and they're obviously much different players, but that doesn't stop the fact that they're probably going to put Jared Vanderbilt as a guy that's like 6'8", 6'9" on Stephen Curry. And while Curry could probably get around him, he's going to make it tough to contest those shots when you got a guy that's, you're given 5-6 inches on a guy. And we saw Stephen Curry have some success driving to the hoop against the Kings. Well, it's Sabonis down there, and Sabonis doesn't really do much defensively. The Kings were not a great defensive team all year long. This Lakers team has been one of the best, if not the best defense since the All-Star break. I think they do a good job trying to stop Curry. You saw Curry under this line in 18 of his last 25 games, under this line in 17 of his last 25 at home. We know Klay Thompson notoriously steps up better at home. I just think this line is a little bit too high. Look, nobody likes the fade greatness. It's not some easy feeling. I took Curry's under and he drops a 40-piece on your head. That could happen. But I'm playing the numbers, playing the data, playing the matchup. I think the Lakers trying to sell out to stop Curry here. And look, I think Curry will have a good series. I'm not saying Curry clanks it up, although if he does clank it up and shoots poor from the field, he's going to go under this line. So look, Curry can score 35 points, still go under. I think the PRA line is probably the way I want to go. I don't mind his under in points, but give me the under 43.5 PRAs. I know it's sketchy and a lot of people probably won't tail it, but I think Steph Curry goes under tonight, and hopefully he doesn't make me look like an idiot tomorrow morning. But let's dive into a bankroll builder. Then we'll talk about Underdog Fantasy entry, and we'll get on out of here. Now, today's builder, just 3 legs, not going to 7 because it's Game 1, and I don't really want to mess with 7. We'll go to these 3 guys. LeBron James, 20-plus points. Andrew Wiggins, 15-plus points. And Austin Reeves, 10-plus points. Currently minus 110 on DraftKings, about minus 122 on FanDuel. Now, you could ask me for some positive, get some legs to get into positive. And while, sure, I would love that plus 105 or plus 115 value on these, but I don't feel like adding in a LeBron James 6+ rebounds, barely moves the line from like minus 110 to plus 103. It just doesn't do a whole lot for me. And then I don't really want to count on a guy like Looney to get 8+ rebounds. Don't hate that. But look, I'm going to stick to these 3 legs. Sure, I could go for more value. I could hunt for more value. That kind of burned us yesterday. And while I'm not saying yesterday was a dumb play, I'd probably run it back and it probably hits in Game 3. I just would rather stick to these 3 legs, go for minus 110, the normal even bet value, and we'll take our chances on it. Now, let's talk about Austin Reeves. If he can't get us 10 points, then whatever. So help me. Well, the Lakers probably getting smoked in that. But look, 10+ points in all 6 versus the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a guy that's going to play his minutes, play a lot of them, get to his spots, knock down his shots, get to the free throw line if he's struggling to. I think he can get us 10 points. Now, as for LeBron James, his teammate, to get 20+, LeBron likes to make you sweat a little bit. And in that Grizzlies series, it was tough on him. They did a lot of doubling him on any drives he went to the hoop. And they had Jaren Jackson Jr. protecting the paint. So much better rim protection, in my opinion, than you get from Looney and Draymond Green. But either way, LeBron still scored 20+ in 5 of 6 games. His only miss was a 5-for-17 effort. We know he can get to the free throw line, knock down some shots there, but I think they try to let Andrew Wiggins guard him one-on-one. LeBron. And we see LeBron try to take advantage of that matchup. Obviously, LeBron has a lot bigger size, not height-wise, but weight-wise on a guy like Andrew Wiggins. I think LeBron can muscle his way into the paint. I don't see them coming off the shooters like D'Angelo Russell, guys like Austin Reeves. I think they rather LeBron settle for some two-pointers, some contested twos from Wiggins or Looney or Draymond contesting them. I think LeBron can get us 20 points. He's obviously one of the most consistent scorers in NBA history. And then Wiggins, we need him for 15. Look, Wiggins is sketchy. This guy had 2 bad games, but he did have 15 plus points in 6 of his last 7. 2 straight games where he shot terribly from the field, missed a lot of free throws, below 40%. I think Wiggins is going to have his open looks, his over 1.5 threes, which is something I looked at. It's like minus 160. So they're expecting him to knock down some threes. I think it's open looks. LeBron is always notorious for cheating, trying to get those rebounds, push the pace, and also trying to reach in for some steals and stuff like that. I think Wiggins gets his open opportunities, especially if Stephen Curry is getting doubled. I think Wiggins gets 15 plus points. LeBron's obviously one of the most consistent scorers in the league, 20 plus points. I think he can get that done. And then Reeves gets 10 plus points. Look, I'll take a stab at it. I don't want to force a lot into a game 1. They're always very fluky. You obviously see a lot of teams make adjustments after these games. In my opinion, games 1 and 2 are arguably the hardest to bet for playing maybe NBA playoffs. And then game 7 is kind of tough too, but you kind of know who's going to play at that point. But either way, I take a stab at these 3 guys, minus 110 on DraftKings, throw 1 unit on it to win, 0.91. But I'll take a stab at that. Those are my 3 favorite plays of the day. Let me know your favorite plays down below in the description. Hit that subscribe button. If you want to sign up for Underdog Fantasy, let's talk about them right now. And we're going to go to this 3-leg entry on Underdog Fantasy. Going to keep it simple. If you want to sign up for Underdog, use code COS or the top link in the description for a 100% deposit match. Gabe Vincent, Stephen Curry, and then Shohei Ohtani. If you have no idea why I like Shohei Ohtani, it's over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Well, you should go watch our MLB video that we posted earlier this morning. We're on a 13-2 run. You can go find out that play, why I like Shohei Ohtani, plus 2 other plays, including a no-run first inning that you might like. So that video will be popping up on the screen in a second. And of course, I appreciate you guys. If you want to sign up for Underdog, use code COS. You get a 6x on your money for that. And if you sign up using our code COS, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. I threw $25 on that to win $150. I think it's got a good chance of hitting. Those legs are probably going to go up as the day goes on. So take advantage of it now while you can. Reminder, you can use code COS or the top link in the description for a 100% deposit match. I love you guys. Have a great day. If you want to check out our parlay of the day, it's on the screen. If you want to go check out our MLB video, on the screen as well. Let's turn May into a great month. Let's keep this winning streak going. I'll see you guys back in tomorrow. Peace out.